All right, I think it's working. So, yeah, hey everyone, my name is Haider Bajwa and I will be your host for today's Making Prototypes with Invision Workshop. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So Making Prototypes with Invision, brought to you by Skill Series and made possible by Brilliant Catalyst. So yeah, let's go. So yeah, a bit about us. So Skill Series is an Enactus project. Skill Series' goal is to inspire and educate students in a wide range of topics, with the focus being on life skills accomplished by the use of correct resources and individuals. In the past, we have hosted workshops, with the main focus being on giving back to the community by providing skill learning opportunities that are essential in life but not really taught in school. A bit about me: I'm a second year computer science student at Ontario Tech University, and I'm also the project lead for Skill Series. So yeah, let's go see. So yeah, so we're gonna first jump into the problem. The problem being design related. So yeah, the problem is turning our ideas to words. Okay, one of the biggest issues in having a successful design cycle is by turning our ideas into a product. Okay, so that may seem easy, but it's easier said than done. The issue with turning your designs into an actual product is that it can get very costly when designs need to be redone again and again. Like, you know, A to B, you telling the coder that this is what you want, and then they're like, oh, okay, got it, perfect, man, I'm gonna do it right now, and then they end up doing something else, and then you go back and forth. And not only that, this also hurts the stakeholders that are involved as well, because they're gonna be like, you know, they're only the money in this. They don't see the logics or, you know, how the system works completely. They're gonna be like, hey, I'm putting my money into this. Why isn't anything being done? So that's also another concern. And the end one being that it can delay the progress of the whole team, which, like, because, you know, if you don't have your designs ready for the website, how's the website gonna launch? It can't. So it's just basically putting the coders back. It's putting away, you know, the researchers back, every other department on the team. And essentially you're just burning through the company's cash pile. And, you know, if you really love your job and you want to keep your job, you wouldn't be doing that. So yeah, that is essentially the problem that I highlighted right there. And yeah, so there's a traditional method of, like, a solution to that is to just basically brainstorm on a piece of paper, you know, just drawing a rough sketch of what you want, but essentially prototyping, but on a paper. And the reason why that idea is no longer viable is because it's quite outdated. We have you know, thanks to the technologies that we have nowadays, such as the cloud, we're able to integrate everything online and, you know, get people to collaborate at the same time with examples like Google Drive, etc., you know, which you guys are pretty comfortable with. So yeah, the traditional method just really doesn't work. And, you know, the traditional method would be like, make a big PowerPoint or something and, you know, go into a meeting room and show it to a bunch of people. And, you know, what COVID-19 has taught us is that we might not always be able to have a space where, you know, we can meet everyone at the same time. So we might have to take things online. So yeah, let's continue. And yeah, so ta-da, making interactive prototypes using Envision. Okay, so straightforward. So what is Envision? Envision is a prototyping tool created for designers by designers themselves. So it allows you to quickly and easily create interactive mockups for your designs. When you're ready, you can share these mockups to, like, the whole team or clients. It makes presenting your designs like a breeze, and it's much more effective than sending out, like, you know, a PDF or, you know, screenshots. Who does that? That's like the worst. So yeah, you can discuss the mockups right inside the app by leaving comments that are connected to a point on the screen that you're discussing, and I will be showing you a live demonstration of that in a bit, so, you know, keep that in mind. And yeah, so let's head over to the live demonstration. Let me just go over there and open up Envision first. And yeah, let me see. So yeah, the sign up process is pretty easy. You just head over to envisionapp.com and you sign up. You can sign up as an enterprise account where you would like team members to collaborate, or just a solo account. It's up to what your design needs are. And yeah, let's go see first. Let me just delete these. Okay, so now I'm on to Envision, and you can see these are just some stuff I was playing around with. But yeah, in order to create a prototype, an interactive prototype, what you'll have to do is basically click create, and over there you'll have to go on prototype. So that's the beauty of Envision. As you can see over here, listed right over here, we have desktop, iPhone, Android, even the Apple Watches and Android Wear. This is pretty cool because that essentially shows that you can make prototypes for almost all different platforms and designs that you might be needing. So for the simplicity of this workshop, we're just going to go over and just do a simple website design. Okay, so I'm going to go and do it trial. Hopefully I spelled that right. Let's see, and let me just make sure. And yeah, so over here you can see it says add your screens, and on the add your screens part it says sync files from Sketch or Photoshop. That's a really cool thing about this is you'll basically be using your productivity apps such as Photoshop or Sketch. Photoshop if you're on Windows, and Photoshop or Sketch if you're on Mac. And one thing I noted about this is that just with my own trial and error with this is that a lot of the productivity apps are exclusive to Macs only, or like if they have some integration thing, it's only for Mac. So which it kind of sucks for Windows users, but we got to deal with what we have. So in this case, since we have I'm going to be using Photoshop, I'm fortunate enough to be able to use this. And one thing I found really, something that could be improved on Envision's end is that when you click the download craft button over here, it only gives you the Mac version, and there's no separate for Windows, which it would be pretty cool if they had it here, because I had to go on Google, search up craft Windows installer. So note that down. If you're on Windows, you'll have to do that. So yeah, after I install that, it's pretty simple. Let me just open up my Photoshop, and you can see I just want to note first of all that all these designs over here for the website template none of these are mine. I was able to get a free copy of them on a website that was providing them for free, so I'm going to make sure to credit them in the description below, so check them out if you want to try this out yourself. And back to the workshop, let's go check it out. So hopefully you can see my screen. So over here we have all these preview, homepage, features, and about. So what essentially these are, like, I know it's way more different than what you guys usually experience on Photoshop, which is like just creating a just one whole one canvas only, and you're just editing on that. What these are, as you can see, different elements of the pages. These are essentially called artboards. So the about, features, homepage, and preview, these are all separate artboards. And the cool thing about that is basically artboards allow you to just see the bigger picture, and you can edit one. You can edit one individually. It's basically like showing all the contents in one folder and just in one place. It's just a really nice thing to have. So I would advise you guys to make artboards. Okay, so and now in order to get this onto Envision, what you'll need to do is go on to click window. It should be on the on these menus over here, top left. So I clicked window, and after that you have to go on extensions. Once you click extensions, you have to click sync. So sync is what you just essentially downloaded. And yeah, for me, I'm already logged in, so I'm able to upload it straight up. But what you would have to do is essentially log into your Envision account. And one thing to note is that I had this error pop up, was basically it wouldn't let me upload any of my artboards onto Envision. And the way I was able to solve that is because I realized I had an enterprise account, and for that what you need to do is basically head over to Envision and you have to copy this before the .envision app. You have to copy that. It should be the name you set it to, followed by a series of numbers. So once you do that, you head over to Photoshop, you include that in as your domain, and then it lets you log in as an email and password. So what that doing is basically you're logging into the company first, and then after that as an individual member. So yeah, I'm logged in. Now let's get this straight onto Envision. So what I have to do here is select the prototype, and right now I just created a new one called Trial. It's in gray because I haven't used it yet. So, and the previous one I used was website. So we're gonna go head over straight to Trial. And over here, it lets you have the artboard pixel density. This part is important. You need to know if yours is 1x or 2x, because if it's the wrong, if you choose 2x and yours is 1x, it would not upload. It'll give you an error. So I had to waste some time on that, but I figured that out quickly. So yeah, mine is based on 1x, so I'm just gonna do 1x. And yeah, you have the choice over here to choose all artboards in document, or you can click only selected artboards. I like this a lot because this option, essentially, it lets you, you know, if you already upload it onto Envision and then you come back because you have to make a quick edit on one artboard, why should you upload all of them again, right? Like, it makes no sense. So in this case, it's really useful. You can do that, but for the workshop, we're just gonna do all artboards in document because I wanna show you how you can get all of them on at once. So I'm gonna click sync, and right now it's just loading. It'll show you syncing 1 out of 4 artboards. Just take a bit and it'll happen. Let's see, it is almost done. Yeah, so we successfully did that, and we're gonna head over to our Envision account, and you can now see that it is in our trial folder over here, all of the artboards. So the neat thing about this is you can click on it, view screen, just letting it load, and you can just go through all of the pages individually. So what these are like essentially, you know, just like a PowerPoint presentation, but the cool part is yet to come. Okay, so wait for that. Over here we have different options such as play mode, we have build mode, comment mode, and inspect mode. So the play mode is essentially when you have it interactively done. You can go through each page, or you can click on different elements on the page and it will take you to, just like an app, it will take you to that part of the page. So in order to do that, how to make it interactive, we're gonna have to go on build mode, and I have that open. So yeah, what this arrow thing is doing is you have to essentially make a hitbox. I'm hoping you guys know what hitbox is, right? So this is essentially where people, the area, if they click on this screen, is going to trigger this type of action. And in our case, we're going to link that to, since it's the about, we're going to link it to the about page over here. And instead of transition, we're going to change it to dissolve. That is completely up to you. You can make it push left, push right. These are all animations and they're up to you, because honestly, at the end of the day, it's what you have in mind. Okay, so yeah, I have dissolve on, and then what I like doing is maintain scroll position after click. This isn't essential, but it's just something, a pet peeve of mine, where like if I went on poorly designed websites and clicked on some element, it just take me to the top of the page for no reason. Like, you know, I just lost all my progress of scrolling, which I don't like. So I'm just gonna click maintain scroll position after click, and this is gonna be the boring part. So you're gonna have to do this again and again. I guess it's not as boring because it's way better than just fighting with your, you know, the coding team back and forth. So yeah, definitely. I'm gonna also highlight the product logo here. So this is where your product logo would go. And you know, what can I do with this? Make it go to the home page. Yeah, and so I'm done one page. Now what I have to do is essentially do it for all of the other pages. Okay, so let's go back here and do it right now. So gonna do the about page right here, do the features page, maintain scroll, and yeah, I'm gonna have to do this, I think, like one more time. So let's see, product logo, forgot. Yeah, homepage. Okay, homepage, and we're gonna go over to the next one. Oh, I think we are done. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. I think there's one page. Yeah, I didn't do this page, so I'm gonna do that again. The about page. I'm gonna change that to about, maintain scroll, do over here, go on features, I'm gonna change that to just features there, maintain scroll. We're gonna go over here, click product logo, make that our home page, maintain scroll after click. So yeah, let's go and do a live demonstration of our prototype we just made. So yeah, we're gonna go into play mode right now, and as you can see, if I click on features, it takes me onto the features page. How cool is that? You tell me. Okay, so not only that, I can click on product logo and it'll take me to the home page. I can go click on about. So that's why I had to do it for each and one separate page, because had I not done it, then it wouldn't know, because essentially to it is just like a picture. It's not like actual code. So yeah, this is really cool for people who don't know how to code. Like, I don't know how to code websites like this, so definitely if I was on the design team, this would save me so much time, and I'm pretty sure my boss would be happy at me too, because I wouldn't be wasting money. And yeah, so now we're gonna head over to the next mode. It's called comment mode. Comment mode is really useful, and this is what I was mentioning back there, where you can highlight certain sections. So let's just see over here, hey, so like you noticed something, your team member didn't have the proper font. So we're just gonna highlight here. And the cool thing about it is you can tag the team member too. Since right now I'm lonely, it's only me in this workplace, so I'm just gonna tag myself. Okay, we're gonna do saying something like, can you change font size? Okay, and we can also play around with the color here. The thing I like about the color is it's up to your imagination what you want it to be. There's no set rules for the colors. You can just tell it, like, you know, red being let's just say red being urgent, orange being like do it when you have time, and then blue being something else. Or you can even code it, you can make it represent as red being one certain department of the team, blue being a different department of the team that's you know, in charge of the design. So I like it. I'll just put it red and I'll post. Yeah, and now the cool thing about this is that since now I posted it, I will shortly receive an email too saying that, hey, someone tagged you on a comment, go check it out and fix it right now. So I really like that aspect of how collaborative Invision is, and you know, it just allows the whole team to work together simultaneously, and it tries making the experience as good as possible. So yeah, that was the comment mode, and now we're gonna head over to the inspect mode. Let's see, inspect mode. Inspect mode is pretty cool too. Let's just see. This is it's just essentially like, how do I say, inspect elements when you go on a web page. But since this isn't a ready website, you can't really do that. So Invision makes it possible though. So this is really cool, because if you're part of the design department and you want to see what type of font, what size your teammate used, you can get all of that detail over here in the styles. You can check this the x coordinate, the y coordinates, width, height. You can even get the hex of the color, which is really useful, and you don't have to beat around the bush trying to see, you know, wasting time trying to get the right color and font on. And this is really cool for like a new member on the team or someone that doesn't really work with you that often, because they can, if you have like a color code, you can get this identified really quickly with like fonts and stuff, and the hex being right over here actually. So yeah, if you head over to code over here, this is a cool part too. Personally, I wouldn't use this code because it's not the best code, but you know, it's still you can do something with it. You can check you know, all the attributes. Those are pretty useful, but I wouldn't copy this part, and you know, all the other coders with me here will agree with that as well. But yeah, it's really cool. The part of the design being is not to code. It's for the designers themselves, so they can make something they can show over to the coding team. So yeah, that is pretty much for the inspect mode. And also on another note for the inspect mode, something, since this is a Photoshop file, and even it works with sketch files too, it would not work if you uploaded a PNG file. That being because a PNG file is basically a, let me make it bigger, basically a compressed image. Okay, it loses all attributes of itself like layers, etc. Having a Photoshop and sketch file, what it's useful for is that it keeps note of all the layers and stuff you do, so you can go over to each attribute and stuff. Had this been a PNG, it would just be one whole blob. You wouldn't be able to edit anything on it, like, you know, see each attribute. Yeah, and if you had a PDF file of your design that was originally a Photoshop file, you're still in luck, because you can go online and convert that to a Photoshop file. And the good thing about PDF is that none of your layer process would be lost, so you can still do the same thing if you do it that way. Just thought I would just throw that in there. And yeah, since we're done the prototype part, let's head over and check the other stuff Invision has for us. So I'm gonna go on trial. And over here on linked documents, you can check out all sorts of other stuff. So like the whiteboard part, I think this is really cool. So you're just gonna go over here, name whatever you want it to be. So like, let's say Proto 1. Please name it better than this, or else your team will not like you. And yeah, so let's go Proto 1. Is just gonna load. It's gonna take a bit, so just wait for that. And ta-da, as you see, all our artboards appeared over here. And you must be saying, what's so cool about this? I could get this on Photoshop. Well, the thing about Photoshop is it doesn't let you collaborate with other people. So that's when Invision comes in handy, okay? So on this screen, as you can see, you can go up and down. You can even zoom in onto different elements of it. And essentially what this is meant for, I'll tell you briefly. Imagine you have like 20 people on the team and you want to explain an idea you have in mind. Simple. You just go over here. You draw let me change the color so it's more notable. You draw what you want, and you know, you can even put in like you know, decisions like yes, no, basically anything. It's like a spider web online. Or, you know, the name itself says it even better. It's a whiteboard, and what do you do on whiteboards? You essentially do brainstorming. You can show how each one's connected, how we should take out this part, etc. So this is like a something you do with the teams. So like a team event. That was quickly going over the whiteboard. You can do a lot of stuff like insert images. You can even add frames, stuff like that. So as well as comments. I forgot to mention you can add comments too. Comments are really useful. And yeah, so we can also do another one, which is called a ready for development. I like this a lot, so I'm just gonna name it dev 1. So the cool thing about ready for development is that me being a computer science student, what I can relate with this is it's kind of like a UML diagram, but not really a UML diagram, because that one just includes all methods. So what this does is essentially all of the individual attributes I highlighted in the developer mode, where I basically did you know, about page, home page. I highlighted all of them to make them interactive. What this does is it shows us like as a web where if you click this button, where would it take us? Just like that. So it's essentially having arrows over here. And you can, you know, if you want to debug your design and see what errors you have, trust me, if you're on the other prototype page, you will not be able to find it. It's hell going through it. So that's not something you want to do. What you want to do is go on this developer part, and you know, essentially it shows you like with arrows. It's pretty useful how each one of the artboards are connected to one another. So this is something you'd want to use. And yeah, so that brings us to the end of our presentation. I want to thank all of you personally for attending this, as this means a lot to me and the team. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at hater.bajwa@ontariotechu.net. And as well, I have also included my LinkedIn if you'd like to connect. Go ahead, I don't mind talking there. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.